up next on the WCBI EndZone preview shows, we check in with 3A and 4A. It's time to shine for Houston, Choctaw County, South Pontotoc. Who reigns supreme in Region 4 3A? Also, taming the Tigers. Who can do it? They've been state titles the past 3 or 4 years. Can Louisville do it? What about Pontotoc? Also, who's the dark horse? Can Aberdeen get it done in 3A? Amory, Itawamba HS. Who's got next? We'll have more coming up after the break.
WCBI's EndZone Preview Show with Tom Ebel and Courtney Robb is brought to you by OCH Sports Medicine, Carl Hogan Toyota, and Wade Incorporated.
What break? There's no break. Welcome back here to the WCBI EndZone Preview Shows. I'm Tom Ebel, joined by the guys from the Miss 98 Scoreboard Show, Adam Gore, Braden Bishop. It's time to do it all over again, but this time with 3A and 4A. And boy, do we have a show for you. It's going to be very talented, very competitive this year, starting with 4A.
Absolutely. 4A is always the fun region to watch because there's so many teams that can get out there, get it done, and then you always have that one or two dark horse that really come in and mess things up for teams that expect to be in the championship hunt.
Same with 3A. You know, last year, I don't think anyone expected Choctaw County to make the noise they did, but now you've got Choctaw County, you've got Houston, the Hilltoppers. Great teams this year, Braden. What do you expect out of 3A?
Yeah, 3A is just going to be one of those classifications that there's just so many local cultures kind of bunched together, and that's going to be one that we're going to break down. And, you know, it's a little different tonight than last night. We're looking at like, 3 or 4 different divisions itself, so a lot of things to talk about.
That's how you mentioned it. I think yesterday the good thing about 1A is you've got the huge 9-team divisions. This you got 1 3A, 2 3A, 4 3A, and now 5 3A with Winona jumping into 5 3A. So we'll have much more coming up right after the break. We'll first check in with 3A. We'll see you in about 2 minutes. Welcome back here to the EndZone preview shows. Let's jump right into it with 3A. We'll start with one of the most competitive divisions, maybe in the state, possibly, with Region 4 3A. Choctaw County was the division winners a year ago. It could be a little bit tough. You know, they lose Austin Toleno. They bring back a lot of talent, and you know Ben Ashley's going to have a very strong defensive team down there in Ackerman. Yeah, talking about Ben Ashley, you know, he's been around the block in the coaching scheme. He's got some of those Pontotoc roots, so you see a little bit of a connection with tonight. He can coach really well. He's got some kids that are coming back. Yeah, they reached the third round for the first time ever. That's huge to build off of for this year. In his first year as head coach, already making a third-year appearance. One of the guys to watch for Choctaw County will be Rakeem Ashford. That's a name who might be able to replace some of that production you saw from Austin Toleno. But the team that I'm thinking could unseat Choctaw County, obviously it was a race to the very end, is going to be the Houston Hilltoppers. Coach Ty Harden was telling me just how excited he is about the depth of this year's team.
And this team is really starting to take on the personality that Ty had when he played high school football, college football. He was a hard-nosed guy that just hit you straight in the mouth and said, "What you got?" And this is that Houston Hilltoppers mantra now. And I think I'm right there with you. I think it's between the top two, Choctaw County, Houston, and I think Houston defensively and toughness-wise can really get after Choctaw and give them some fits this year.
Harden was also telling us during the high school football tour that Jalen May could be one of the best to come through Houston.
Wow.
I mean, of all the names that come through Hilltoppers history, that's a guy to watch. He'll be all over the field for Houston as well. But thinking of some dark horse teams in 4-3A, South Pontotoc brings back a lot of talent. Aberdeen brings back Fred Fields. That's a lot of talent on the offensive side. Could one of those teams possibly jump in there? Yeah, I think South is always one of those teams that you need to look out for. They do very, very well, or they have for the last couple of years in their non-conference opponents. So it's not going to be surprising if they start out 3-0, 4-1. Look for the Cougars to do some wreck in that division too. And can't forget about, I mentioned Aberdeen, 15 guys back for the Bulldogs. You never know with 4-3A, anyone could win that division. But jumping over to 1-3A now, North Pontotoc has dominated that division for the past 5 years. I think they've lost only one division game, in the past 5 years. But now you lose Clark Mills and Jacquez Berry. Those guys were instant touchdown makers. Who do you think possibly could be that team that jumps up there in 1-3A?
If Boonville can stay healthy, that's going to be the key for Boonville. They had a lot of injuries last year. So if they can stay healthy and, get things going in the right direction, Boonville's always talented. Belmont, they picked up a lot of momentum last year, especially picking up that win over Boonville. So that could be your extreme dark horse in that division.
during the high school football tour, Boonville told us that 18 people missed at least one game, and that's the man I'm keeping an eye on. Bill Jackson, he got hurt. Well, William Jackson, but I like to call him Big Bill Jackson here on the End Zone. That man combined with Dallas Gamble in the backfield. Dallas Gamble had 1,200 yards rushing and 17 TDs as a quarterback. I mean, Boonville could be – they're my pick to win 1-3A this year.
I would have to go with North Pontotoc. Coach Crotwell, he's got some Tupelo ties, some Caledonia ties. He's going to do really well there, and I know replacing Clark Mills, that's going to be hard.
Yeah.
That kid, baseball, basketball, pool, whatever. I mean, he was really, really good.
All-area athlete.
But they always, North Pontotoc, those athletes in Ecru are so athletic. They're really, really good. So I still like North.
The interesting thing about North Pontotoc is, last year they were a team that put up 35 points every night, but now they're going to be more a defensive team. They bring back their top 2 tacklers, including Corley Hooper. Could we be seeing a hard-nosed Vikings this year instead of the air show that we've been used to seeing?
Adam and I went to go see their game against Pontotoc a couple of years, or maybe last year, and they're good on offense, but, man, that defense, there was some hard hitting going on out there, and that's one of the biggest things I can remember about that, so I wouldn't be surprised.
And also, if I can throw in, we were at the Houston-North Pontotoc playoff game last year, and that was one of the best games I was at all year long. But looking at 3A also, 2-3A, North Panola obviously has the Monster and KJ Jefferson, the Arkansas commit. But then you have Water Valley right behind them. Water Valley bringing back 15 seniors. They were a team that went 2-9 2 years ago, but now Water Valley is that team that could challenge North Panola.
Yeah, Coach Embry is one that sticks out in the Water Valley scene, and he's done a fantastic job there. And again, Water Valley, an old name that you don't count them out at all. Yeah,
also throw in Independence. Coach Russo out there at Independence can really get things going there as well. So it's going to be interesting, but I still think North Panola is a team to beat.
Oh, yeah.
Once you got that Monster in Jefferson, that'll clear some mistakes.
They could play with
quick.
some 5 and 6A teams, to be
Actually,
quite honest.
was out at the West Point game.
That's right.
At the New Hope Jamboree, and on the first series of the game, Jefferson made West Point look a little susceptible. I mean, the Green Wave obviously shut it down really quick. But also, we can't forget, Region 5 3A, the new addition is Winona. I love Winona. They were my pick possibly to win 2A this year. I think they could make some noise in 3A.
Yeah, don't count them out. They're always good.
But that's it for 3A. 4A coming up next. I think you know who might be on the list coming up next right after the break. Thanks for joining a couple of guys who just love to talk some high school football. But let's talk about some 4A football. It's belonged to Noxubee County. 3 out of the 4 years they've been state champions. I mean, they bring back almost everyone from that title team a year ago with Keziah Pruitt, Jacqueline Smith, Malik Stallings, Chioke Brooks. Like, Noxubee is a team that could obviously just be good for the next 10 years.
Yeah, and you talk about all this old South Panola teams, the West Point teams. That's kind of where Noxubee is now. It's generational. You don't want to be that generation that lets down the fans, that lets down the community. And that's a sense of pride, and that's one thing they've been able to do a really good job on, is build on that and kind of just keep that momentum going year after year.
One of the big things Tyrone Shorter was telling us in the high school football tour was obviously maybe the only question mark for Noxubee County is the QB situation, but it's going to be Chris Davis, uber athletic kid that played defensive back last year. But when you've got guys like Keziah Pruitt and Rashad Eads from last year, Noxubee's bound to have another wide receiver just come out of the woodworks and give people nightmares on Friday. I mean, when you look at a QB, does it even matter who the heck is throwing the ball?
I mean, I think for any other team, you're going to be like, well, new QB, we might want to keep an eye on them. But my goodness, their defense is stacked. They're bringing everybody back from a state championship team. They have outstanding wide receivers. I mean, you might can just say hike and pass it off and score. I mean, that's about it. I mean, it's more to it than that, but they're that good, I believe.
Tyrone Shorter said that he thinks this team could go 16-0, but what about the team that I'm picking could give Noxubee a little fits this year thanks to some health? The Louisville Wildcats. MC Miller's last year in Louisville after 45 years. But now they bring back Charles Moore, a Mississippi State commit that got hurt all last year. And I saw him at the Starkville Jamboree a couple days ago, and the man tackled 2 people on one play. He could be a difference maker for Louisville.
I think the biggest thing for Louisville is going to be their defense. It's just a nasty defense, and that's one thing they take pride in. And I think that mixed with the fact that it's going to be Coach Miller's last year, there's going to be a little bit of extra need to get it done, have to do it for Coach. And that could be the thing that gets them over the hump whenever it comes to teams like Knoxville. With
that defense, can't forget about Ashanti Sistrunk either. Very talented, kind of plays like a linebacker safety hybrid for Louisville. Braden, you look at last year for MC Miller, a lot of, we talked to them at the high school football tour. A lot of these guys grew up playing for MC Miller, and that was a real big thing. They wanted to send him out on a bang. Look at MC Miller's career. What's the bang? It's got, state championship. I mean, the man has won plenty, but imagine going out with a bang for MC Miller.
Yeah, we've been watching MC for a long time, and the teams that he's coached. And, I mean, you may see MC holding up at Louisville at the end of the season a big trophy with a bunch of toothpicks in it, because that dude he's done a really good job. And Louisville's defense just filthy. They're so just athletic. Their offensive line is big. They're returning quarterbacks. So I'm looking forward to this division a lot. Yeah,
Deontay Arborough kind of reminds me of Stephon McGlone, if you know him, of Tupelo. Big body guy. It's going to be a load to tackle. They also bring back some guys on the backfield as well. But I think you're right. Defense is going to be the calling card. It's going to be really fun watching that Knoxville offense against that Louisville defense. First guy to score a touchdown might be the winner of that one. But also in that division, New Hope. New head coach, Wade Tackett, comes over from Simmons. Obviously, we talked yesterday, Simmons' success.
Put up points.
Absolutely. And so, but they have a huge junior class. I think New Hope might be 1 year away from giving some of those other teams some fits.
Yeah, the Trojans are always going to be a team to look out for. And they play a really good schedule, and I think that helps them later down the road. And obviously, being in 4-4-8, it's tough, but it prepares them. Maybe next year, but prepares them.
Pontotoc had said that was one of their toughest games of the year, was that playoff game against New Hope. And so, speaking of Pontotoc, Region 2 4A, from top to bottom, you look at Pontotoc, Itawamba HS, Shannon, Amory, Moorville even. They got some guys coming back this year. Caledonia, new head coach. This could be one of the most competitive divisions in Mississippi.
Yeah, it always seems to be. It's always the region to watch, even long before we started doing this show together. But yeah, Pontotoc, man, who do they not return? They return just about everybody on offense, and they're going to be the cream of the crop in 4A this year, and they're going to be tough to beat.
That running back duo of Emmanuel Vance and Gabe Harmon, they battled through injury last year, but if those two guys come back healthy, look out. Of course, a big hole to fill is Cole Smith, but when you got those guys in the backfield, anything can happen. But of those other teams, who do you see as maybe making some noise, maybe unseating Pontotoc this year?
Probably Shannon is going to be a team that you want to look out for. They're always, with Coach Carter, they're always going to have some players that are just, they're a fun team to watch because they have defensive players they'll throw on offense, and that's fun. It's really fun to watch. And they're very athletic. They do really well in the 7-on-7 competitions. So they're a good offensive-minded team.
16 starters coming back for Shannon, and one of those guys you mentioned plays both sides, Eric Rogers, big physical guy on the outside. But I'm going to go, watch out for Amory. They lose Jartavius Jernigan, but they bring back Hunter Jones, who was a freshman last year, had some big plays as a young guy going up against that division. Also, Trendon Gillen, 11 touchdown receptions last year. He's back for another year. Amory could be that team. They're always athletic. They're always tough. You never know with Amory.
Yeah, they're one of those teams also that they're due. I mean, they're a tradition program. They won 4 games last year, and that's not something they're used to. So I really see Amory being that bounce-back team that can really shake things up. But right now, Shannon, Pontotoc are your top 2.
And Itawamba HS, can't forget about them. They bring back their quarterback, Jackson Orr.
I
mean, and that's why, it's funny because we're sitting here and thinking about, who's the top 2? You could pick 4 or 5 teams. Moorville, a guy to watch. Kason Mitchell grew 3 inches, put on 20 pounds over the summer. Could be all over the field for Moorville this year. In Caledonia, a couple of years away, Michael Kelly, great hire for them, by the way. Of course, back and forth in the spring and the summer and the coaching situation for them. But I think they may have ended up on the right guy with Michael Kelly. He did great things at Columbus. And so who the heck knows who's going to win this? But also, quick with 1-4A, Senatobia's division there. They bring back a ton of guys there. New Albany could make some noise, but I think we're going to roll with Senatobia. But coming up, we're just talking about it. We're going to make some picks in region or Class 3A and 4A coming up right after the break. Welcome back. Let's make some picks. Talking the turkey, now it's time to deliver. Let's talk 3A. I'm going to give mine here. 1-3A, I'm rolling with Boonville. I think if the Blue Devils stay healthy, that's the team to beat. North Panola in 2-3A. Houston in 4-3A. I think their depth is going to get them over the top. And then I've got Forest in 5-3A. What do you think?
I'm right there with you on each one of the picks. I do like Boonville. I think a healthy Boonville team is going to be a very dangerous Boonville team this year.
Yeah, in 1-3A, North Pontotoc, man.
Okay, rolling with the Vikes.
Yeah, going with the Vikes.
Okay.
Let's do it. Vike Nation.
Keeping that domination going in 1-3A. And now, North half. Who you got? Who are you thinking?
I'm going North Panola and Houston.
Me too.
Okay.
I think I'm going with that too. I think Houston's got the athleticism and the depth to really get them over the hump. Of course, replacing a guy like Uriah Shepard and Quentin May is going to be really tough to do, and it's going to be a dogfight getting out of 4-3A. But I think Houston has enough athletes and enough guys coming back that played serious minutes last year to possibly get them to that North half final.
I think I like the North Panola and Houston. I think North Panola goes all the way.
Do you?
I do, yeah. Out of the South, Jefferson
Jeff
Davis.
Yeah.
They're a powerful team, but that North Panola has some studs on that team.
They do.
I do think that I like them as a favorite.
I might have to go with Topper Nation here to get over into the North. I'm going to go Houston and Forest in the final, and that one's going to be a toss-up. Obviously, Forest has DeJuan Black. They're going to be a tough team. Winona has their work cut out for them, but Adam, what do you think?
I'm going with Houston as well. I just think they got something special going on in Houston. Very exciting time to be an athlete at Houston High School, and I think that's going to carry over in football this year.
What do you think, Braden? You agree with all of the above, or
I still like North.
Okay.
I like North Panola. I mean,
they got the beast.
I mean, Topper Pride and all. You wore the hat last night, but KJ, man.
Let's go to 4A.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Braden, we'll start with you. We'll start with Region 2 4A. Who you got?
Oh, we're going Pontotoc.
Them grapes?
Yeah, they're doing
Grape
it.
Nation?
I mean, you can't take any of those running backs down without just chopping legs out from under them. Gabe Harmon he's a bad dude, so I like Pontotoc in 2-4A.
I'm with you on that.
Same here.
Same here.
Yep.
Even Shannon maybe knocking on the door. Itawam BHS maybe.
There's always someone in that division that beats someone they're not supposed to.
Typically what it is, the team we picked to finish fourth in this division wins.
That's funny. So then we'll go over to 4A. Who do you got? I mean, do we have any quarters to flip between Noxubee and Louisville? Who do you think?
I like Noxubee to win it, and then Louisville to get them in the playoffs.
Okay.
One of those. I like Louisville.
Even the division?
I think I like them in the division. I like them. MC Miller. There's just something about it, man. They're going to be really, really good this year.
I'm rolling with Adam. I have Noxubee winning the division, but I think we're just destined for another Noxubee-Louisville 4A North half final.
No doubt.
And that's going to be the state championship. I'm sorry.
It is.
It always
exactly.
is.
Yes, it is. And that's why, when you thought about the 4A title, it's going to be, it's going to come down to 4A North. Whoever doesn't beat the brakes off the other, I think, ends up winning. But I have Louisville winning the title over East Central. I think the thing that gets them over the hump this year is going to be that MC Miller magic. That they have that extra thing to fight for. It's MC's last year. A lot of those guys grew up with him. They want to send him out a winner.
I like that pick if they stay healthy.
Absolutely.
I think that's a big thing. With having massive players and good athletes, you hope in week 12, 13, and 14, things are still good. And you hope that in any sport, to be honest. But it's hard. That's a hard aspect.
Absolutely. And, of course, the only team that's beaten Noxubee County in the playoffs the past 4 years, Pontotoc. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But we'll wrap this baby up coming up next and preview 5A and 6A.
WCBI's EndZone Preview Show with Tom Ebel and Courtney Robb is brought to you by OCH Sports Medicine, Carl Hogan Toyota, and Wade Incorporated.
I'm repping Houston again tonight, solely for the purpose of it fits on my head.
Same here,
It's a good purpose. Good
Wanted to go
reason.
Noxubee, but it doesn't fit my head. But you got the Tupelo helmet. We'll be talking Golden Wave tomorrow, 6A and 5A. Look at that beautiful shot. That's a treat right there.
Like a true lineman.
We'll be talking much more about the West Point Green Wave and Tupelo coming up tomorrow. Thanks for sticking around with us. We'll see you tomorrow.